Good morning and welcome back to the Place to Be Reviews. I'm and right here with all the yous. It's Monday now, September 30th, on the cusp of October, and I'm going to be doing a lot more horror-related content for the next month. Some videos, little countdowns, and things like that. Probably try to add in some watch parties. Now, we're supposed to do a watch party the weekend of October 18th for Unicorn Store. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to have to see who I can get to join me with this and what movies are available. Because, like we do on Raiders of the Lost Flicks when I do watch parties with the Groovinator over there, I really want to do movies that are free or easily accessible for you guys out there. So, nobody has to spend any money on anything. But I think other than Unicorn Store, because that is on Netflix, and that's just something we promised that we were going to all suffer through for you guys. And we've waited long enough. We drew it like a month ago or something. So what I think we will do is we'll do Unicorn Store and then turn right around and we'll do another movie right after that. We'll do 2 watch parties back to back. Now, there might be a half-hour break or so in between, so everybody can kind of get up and move around, do that thing. But we'll see who can join us here for that. But that'll be the weekend of October 18th, or we could do one Friday night after the Fan Cast. It might be a late one, around 10 o'clock, 10:30, but we can see what we can do from there. So with that being said, I'm not going to announce what movies yet because I'm going to look through YouTube and see what I can find, what's free, and because we'll do the sip of coffee here. It's early still. We'll do Unicorn Stores is on Netflix, and then we'll try to find a horror movie on YouTube. I'm leaning towards something along the lines of a Friday the 13th, in that vein. So that being said, on the horror front, we are on the Hollywood Reporter's site. This came out yesterday at 7:14 p.m. Did Fear the Walking Dead just kill one of the franchise's most important characters? Now, this came out before the episode aired. I mean, I'm sure if you have AMC Premiere, you were already privy to this before that. But they're speaking of Morgan, Lenny James's character. Now, Lenny James came over from The Walking Dead. Morgan was a character that we met in the very first episode. As Rick Grimes was walking around the streets, he was hit by a shovel, and it was his son Dwayne. They spared him because they didn't see that he was bitten or anything. So he's had a tie-in since the very beginning. All right, came over to Fear the Walking Dead, added a considerable amount of weight to the show because Lenny James is a great actor, and this is just a cool character. Morgan has been through a lot. We got his origin story in the episode Clear, with John Carroll Lynch portraying Eastman, who was Morgan's mentor and taught him, to harness his rage, because Morgan was just killing everybody and anything in his way. We recall he went back and he stabbed like a father and son to death in the woods. So that was when he was in clear mode. So let's go on with this article. Showrunners Ian Goldberg and Andrew Chambliss talk with The Hollywood Reporter about that Season 5 shocking cliffhanger. Story contains spoilers, so spoiler alert if you haven't seen the episode yet. And I'm going to kind of give my thoughts on the season as a whole, because I reviewed, I think it was like the first half of the season maybe, or a couple episodes early on, and I haven't done a video on it since. And the reason for that is I got so fed up with this show. It was so stupid. I just literally watched the episode 15 yesterday before the season finale because I couldn't drag myself to watch it. That, and I have a lot of shows I'm watching right now. I'm watching Prodigal Son and Emergence, of course, and I have to review Batwoman. That's about to start next Sunday right before Walking Dead, which I'll be reviewing every episode of Walking Dead live form Sunday night around, 10. It'll be about 10:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for around, 30 to 40 minutes. We'll talk about the episodes right after they air. So there's that to look forward to. Showrunners Ian, if you're into that sort of thing. So we did that. As Morgan, Lenny James had been among the most enduring faces of the Walking Dead franchise, appearing in the pilot episode and ultimately becoming the leading man on the spin-off Fear the Walking Dead, which underwent a soft reboot. Those days may be over, based on the Fear Season 5 finale, which ends with Morgan quite literally at death's door. In End of the Line, Morgan and his friends fight together to overcome walkers at Humbug's Gulch, an Old West theme park they hope to turn into a new home. They end up needing help from Virginia, Colby Minifie, the self-declared pioneer hell-bent on building a new world order. Which to me, her group is nothing more than saviors on horses. In exchange, Morgan and his group agree to follow Virginia's way moving forward. With their allegiance in hand, Morgan divides and conquers the crew, sending them off into unknown directions. Or Virginia divides and conquers the crew, sending them off in unknown directions. Newlyweds John Dory, Garrett Dillahunt, who is the best character on the show, hands down. Of the new characters, I mean, Morgan just goes without saying, but I really like John Dory's character. Garrett Dillahunt is amazing, and he makes me want to watch the show Deadwood. And June Jenna Elfman, who really came into this role and made me care about her, as are Daniel Salazar, Ruben Blades, another cool character, and his feline sidekick, Skidmark the cat. And I really thought that Daniel was going to end up kind of going on a rampage there over Skidmark. I figured he would probably meet his demises. They didn't kill off barely any characters, which kind of makes me wonder what is in store in Season 6, how many people are going to die. You know, because this group was lying about everything, just kind of like not like the saviors in their respect, because the saviors just out front, they would kill somebody and then they would be like, okay, this is what we want. You know, you're working for us now, da-da-da-da-da. These guys are just, hi, my name's Virginia, but you can folks call me Jeannie. I got so sick of hearing that. Like, you know, I understand what they're trying to do with the character and what she's trying to portray. But it's not even, I mean, it makes you just, it made me like just apathetic to where like, I'm done with this. Like, I can't. They've had such bad villains on this iteration of Walking Dead as of late. You know, when they were at the truck stops, the old lady who was bitter because nobody helped her and her husband on the side of the road. You know, she had a walker and a stick, and she killed, how many able-bodied adults did she kill? With a walker and a stick that they couldn't hear approaching from the rear. I mean, come on. So let's see. As for Morgan, all right, so we went through this paragraph. As for Morgan, he and his budding love interest, Grace, Karen David, are separated mere moments after confessing their feelings for one another. Soon after, when they are the only ones left at the Gulch, Virginia shoots Morgan and leaves him for dead, not interested in bringing him into her vision of the future. The final scene features a bloodied Morgan slumped in a doorway, broadcasting a message of hope to his friends, just live, as a swarm of walkers descend upon him. The season ends before we see what happens next. Now, this is almost akin to Glenn, the dumpster or the cliffhanger when, Negan, from issue 100, I can't remember what episode number it was, but it was, the season 7 premiere, where Negan, they had the lineup, they had it in season 6, episode 16, but we met Negan, we saw him hit somebody, but we didn't know who it was because we saw it from the point of view of the person being hit. Which naturally everybody thought it was Glenn right off the bat. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet, you should have by now, but I don't know. It was Abraham, which, then Glenn was a bonus death because Daryl got up and, punched Negan. So, and that was another one, Austin Emilio. Dwight's character came over to the show, and he could have done so much more than they let him do. And I understand the arc and what they're doing with Dwight, but to me, it didn't work. It was kind of an affront to a cool character. Is this really the end of the line for Morgan Jones, one of the very few characters from the first season of The Walking Dead still alive? The others on that list, Norman Reedus, Daryl Dixon, and Melissa McBride's Carol Peltier on the flagship, as well as currently missing in action Andrew Lincoln as Rick Grimes, which we know that's the movie trilogy. He's not coming back to the show. Here's some good news for worried fans. Fear the Walking Dead showrunners Ian Goldberg and Andrew Chambliss won't confirm or deny Morgan's fate. The pair will only offer repeated wait-and-see replies when pushed on the subject by The Hollywood Reporter. When the original series lead Kim Dickens was written out in the mid-season 4 finale, Goldberg and Chambliss were much more forthcoming in confirming the character's death, controversy surrounding the decision notwithstanding. Their refusal to deliver a solid answer here on Lenny James' continued involvement in Fear the Walking Dead, combined with the fact that viewers never see walkers making physical contact with Morgan, bodes well for the character's survival, however improbable. Cue the avalanche of theories on how he makes it out alive, including one The Hollywood Reporter floats forward to Goldberg and Chambliss in the interview ahead, all about Morgan Jones' cliffhanging fate and what it means for season 6. There's a shot at Lenny James as Morgan. So we'll go down through this. Can you confirm Morgan Jones' fate? Fair to say he's dead at the end of the season. Ian Goldberg. Well, we heard Morgan's last words on the walkie-talkie to the rest of the group. He said, just live. Obviously, Morgan's in a very difficult spot. He's been shot, he's bleeding, and walkers are encroaching on him, and he's all alone at the Gulch. So whether or not he's able to take his own advice and live by those words, just live, we'll have to see what happens in season 6. Well, that's about what you'd expect from the showrunners. Will Lenny James return as a series regular next season? Well, that would be just giving it away. I mean, they're not going to do that. Like Ian, this is Andrew Chambliss. Like Ian said, people are just going to have to wait and see if Morgan is able to get out of the dire predicament he's in. Talk through constructing the end of the season. How did you... All right, I'm not going to read the rest of this. So, I mean, let's see if there's any more of the article here. This just goes through the interview a little more. Interview, yeah, this is... So... Shot in the dark theory time. Madison Clark is alive and she's going to save Morgan from his current predicament. Hot, cold, Chambliss. That is a fascinating theory, and we'll just have to wait for season 6 to see how things go. Yeah, so I'm going to play this. I don't know how this is going to fly, but we'll do it anyway. Let's put a full screen here. All right. I couldn't find the scene of him getting shot, and the entire scene is like almost 5 minutes long. I'm not going to do that. This is a minute 31. We'll go through this. This is after Morgan is shot. Everybody leaves.
If any of you were listening, if any of you can hear me, what we were doing out here, it wasn't just about doing right. It was about the future.
She shot him in the chest when they had to face off.
Fought for the future.
And he had hit her in the face with his bow staff, which I don't understand why Morgan would have even put himself
We made the hard call.
A compromising position with Jeannie, which was...
For her.
My wife and I were both angry when we watched this. It wasn't just me. It
For
was,
all of us.
Because if I get mad at something, I'm like, I always look to her. I'm like, are you like the least upset about this? And
so great.
if she says yes, I'm like, okay, I have a
You're
normal
listening to me?
normal person's validation.
Live.
And this would be a sad end for a great character portrayed
All
by
of you.
an awesome actor, Lenny James.
If you can hear me, just live.
For 5 or 6 walkers there, and that's the end of it right there. So, yeah, that was the end of the episode right there. I don't know, if they're gonna kill Morgan off, if they're gonna go into any detail with his relationship with Grace next season. What does the future hold for Garrett Dillahunt and them? This is my problem with Fear the Walking Dead. This season has been so pedestrian and so boring. There were so many episodes where nothing happened. I understand, moving the plot forward and, plot points and all that and armor. But at the same time, it was just boring to me. And that's not something that I want to, describe a show that I've enjoyed. And I've defended against a lot of and it's not unjust or undue criticism. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very relevant and real. The things are real that people are saying about this. But, the season 3, and 4, the yacht season, the ranch season, those were at least good action-wise. This has just been boring. I mean, you've got the helicopter people, which obviously are going to have to be the CRM. That was the lady that Althea met and had her little, awakening moment with, which whatever. That didn't even bother me. My wife and I are sitting there and, a lot of times people, oh, you just get mad. I was like, okay, whatever, that's her thing. Cool. I I don't want to say I kind of like expected it, but it was just like, I don't know. It seemed like an underlying theme, and I'm just like, she might be gay, whatever. It never really, and that was it. Never crossed my mind. Not at all. So I was just more interested in, okay, where is this woman from? How many more people are there? Where are they keeping their gear? Where's their station? What kind of, security do they have? Those were the kind of questions I was asking about that. Everything else was just, whatever. I'm like, I want to get into more of like, the helicopters. Like, okay, is this from Walking? Which it probably is the same people that Jadis, kind of gave Rick to. So, do I think season 6 will be better? Oh, the way this season went, I don't know. I would hope so, because this season was just boring. And that's, like I said, not something that I want to see from a Walking Dead related show. Now, there's another spin-off show starting. I don't think that's starting this year. I think it's next year, 2021. But I don't know. We'll have to see how that fits in. And my thing was, I was saying this like weeks ago, I think around season 5, episode 12, I was like, they should just end the show. They've already got it renewed for season 6, which they're already shooting. Just end the show and take your relevant characters and either move them back to The Walking Dead or move them to the new show at some point that you feel comfortable introducing them, where the characters in that show can stand on their own. But you have all these mainstays that you don't want to just be supporting characters, or to take away from your new characters that you're trying to develop on your third spin-off show. And see, this is something that I enjoy, so I'm not just hating on this show. Everybody says, oh, well, you guys in the Fandom Menace, you say, no, I don't hate on everything. There's certain things I like and enjoy, and this is one of them. And I'm always trying to come up with things that in my head, I'm like, well, what could they do better? Just from an average viewer's perspective. Like I said, I'm not a professional film critic, obviously, or a television critic, but I'm just speaking from my point of view, my perspective on what I find entertaining and would still make sense and be a good story that they could sell to the mass audience. Now, the feedback on the show has been overwhelmingly negative, which would make me think that they would want to, improve upon these things moving forward. And if the show is going to go into that 7, 8, 9, 10 season territory like Walking Dead is now. So it remains to be seen. And when season 6 comes back, which will be next this coming spring, I believe, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I have faith that I don't believe they'll kill Lenny James off here. I don't think that they're going to leave a main character death on that much of a cliffhanger with little to no gravitas, because there was not a lot of gravitas around that death, which I understand not every main character death is going to have that wow factor to it, but I believe that Lenny James, that's kind of owed to him for the time he put in on Walking Dead, and obviously after moving over to Fear. So, that being said, I'm Tepo Queen of the Place to Be Reviews. This has been a little bit of Fear the Walking Dead talk. What do you guys think? Were you happy with it? What did you not like about it? Let me know in the comments below. Please, are you looking forward to The Walking Dead? I watched most of the season premiere because somebody uploaded it to YouTube last night, and before it got taken down, I got to see about 10 to 15 minutes of it, and then there's still clips up, so I'm going to go check that out and kind of piece the episode together, because I can't wait another week, and I already know some of the stuff, so I just want to see it unfold. With that being said, be sure to bitch slap that like button on the way out. We got episode number 65, Monday night going in raw. The Place to Be Reviews podcast, that is tonight, and it is the Place to Be Reviews, the podcast. That's the Monday night show title now. It's all concurrent, it's all continuity. This is the Place to Be Reviews, cinematic YouTube universe. And episode 66 will be Wednesday night. Tomorrow morning, About Last Night, will be live, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Wednesday night, like I said, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, will be episode 66 of the podcast. Then Thursday morning, crossing streams, I'll be over on Goober Brothers Entertainment with my man Cody over there doing the morning show. Then Friday night over on the Fan Caste. And I will put links to everything in the comments, not the comments, but the description below, along with other ways you can contact us over at the Place to Be Reviews. With that being said, I'm Tepokuyan, and if I don't see you, have a good day and a pleasant tomorrow. Please consider subscribing. If you do, turn that bell on for notifications, because YouTube has recently changed the algorithms to favor the larger corporate channels over small independent creators like us. So don't let little guys like our channel get lost in the shuffle. Be sure to hit that subscribe, turn the bell on for notifications. I am Tepokuyan, and I'm out of here.